Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right now on the news at 10 on CW21.
Power's out for families all over South Carolina, and thousands in our area haven't had it in more than a day. How they're holding up. And with power out, many are flocking to area shelters. We'll tell you what the shelters are doing to keep residents warm. The storms proved deadly for some in South Carolina. Details on a house fire in Marion that claimed the life of one woman. That's just ahead. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McGinnis. Thousands are without power again tonight, including our transmitter in Dillon, which is why you're watching us on the internet tonight. Thank you for joining us. We hope to be broadcasting again very soon. We'll have more on the power outages in a moment. But first, that winter storm is finally leaving us. Now there's just a chill in the air. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Ed Piotrowski to find out more. Ed.
And that's the best news of all. This winter storm is on its way out. Take a look at the satellite and Doppler radar review, and it lasted for 3 straight days. It was epic. It was crippling, but now moving over the mid-Atlantic. The last of the clouds along the coast are going to be pushing out to sea fairly shortly, and we'll have clear skies overnight. Winds are not terribly high. They've been gusting at times up near 15 to 20 miles per hour. We've been concerned about the wind simply because any kind of a wind with these tree limbs that are already pretty weak from the ice and any additional ice that's on trees that can blow down obviously can cause further power outages. We're hoping that will not be the case for the rest of the night, especially since the winds will be coming down ever so slowly. At least the temperatures are still above freezing. We figured that would be the case, likely not falling below freezing until after midnight tonight. And at that point in time, anything that's been melting during the course of the day that's still on the roads and is not evaporated, well, it's going to refreeze. Here's our forecast overnight: 26 inland, 31 on the Grand Strand, upper 20s to mid 30s as we head through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And by the time we get to 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, everyone will be above freezing, and the melting will continue. We'll be in the mid 40s across the PD at noon, right around 50 down by the beaches, warmer than we have been in quite a few days. And it gets even better. Friday looks fantastic, the weekend too. How about 70 next week? It's likely. I'll talk about it later.
Well, we definitely deserve some warmer temperatures. Over 80,000 people don't have power tonight. That's not entirely bad news because at one point around 120,000 people didn't have power. Crews are working to get things back up and running. Let's take a look at some of the current outages. This is a look at Duke Energy's website. Right now in Florence County, they have about 18,000 people without power. We'll move down to Horry County where they have about 909 people without power. Horry Electric Co-op down there is reporting about 9,000 people without power in the Conway area, by the way. We'll move up to, let's move to Darlington County, where they have about 297 people without power. And we'll take a look at Georgetown County, where about 1,730 people don't have power. But fortunately, those numbers are trending down right now, which means that people are getting their power returned. But with these power outage numbers still in the thousands, many South Carolinians are wondering when they are ever going to see light again. And some families in our area haven't had power for more than a day now. It's got to be frustrating for them. WPDE News Channel 15's Kayla Dorenzo visited one Horry County neighborhood currently in the dark to find out how they're holding up and get some answers for them. Kayla?
Tim, we first found out that residents on Comfort Court in Conway didn't have power when longtime resident and CW21 News at 10 viewer Brett Small called our newsroom this afternoon. It's been nearly 30 hours since his lights first went out, and now he's wondering why his neighbors across the street are up and running again, and he's still in a power struggle.
What I wouldn't give right now just for a hot shower. I don't even care if the heat comes back on, just, you know, some bit of warmth.
It's been more than 30 hours of darkness, cold, and hunger for residents of Comfort Court in Conway.
You can't get a shower because it's so cold in the house. You can't cook anything because your stove's electric. It's not fun. It's not fun at all.
And they're just two of over 100,000 people in our area finding some creative ways to keep warm and connected during the power outage.
And keep having to go out to the truck to charge phones and to get warm. I mean, gas isn't cheap. I mean, power company ain't going to pay for that.
But the frustrating part for this group is that the development across the street lost power after they did, and they've seen power come back, while they, on the other hand, are still lighting candles to keep warm.
At least lie to me if you're going to say something, but I mean, tell me something. Don't just say I'm on the list. I've been on the list now for 27 hours.
So to help them, I called Penelope Hansen with the Ori Electric Co-op to find out why.
It's not really lights because their meter is running. They could have a generator, or they could have a kerosene lantern or something that just looks like they have lights.
Henson says the crews at Ori Electric are working around the clock to restore power fully to all customers, and that homes next to each other may have their power restored at different times.
You'll see improvement in numbers very quickly, and we want people to be sure that they check their individual taps, their weather heads, to make sure that they're ready to receive power when we're ready to deliver it.
It doesn't look like there's a lot of comfort on Comfort Road, but if you do decide to run a generator at home, you're reminded to make sure you do so outside. Tim.
All right, thanks, Kayla. Now, because there are so many people without power and without heat, the American Red Cross has opened several shelters in the area. In Florence County, there's a shelter open at South Florence High School. In Lower Florence County, a shelter's at Lake City High School. And in Darlington County, Darlington Middle School is a shelter. In Dillon County, Dillon High School is a shelter. And in Marion County, Marion High School is being used as a shelter. Horry County Public Schools will be open tomorrow on a regular schedule with the exception of 6 schools. Those Horry County schools that are closed tomorrow are Aner Middle, Elementary, and High, Midland Elementary School, and Green C. Floyd's Elementary and High Schools. Bus transportation will not run in the Aner and Green C. Floyd's attendance areas for any students tomorrow. All other public schools in the area are closed. Those include Georgetown, Florence, Marion, Marlboro, Darlington, Dillon, Robeson, and Scotland County schools. Governor Nikki Haley is asking state lawmakers to allow school districts to be able to make the decision about whether to waive the missed days rather than make them up later. 4 people have lost their lives in South Carolina because of the storm, and a Marion woman's among them. According to Marion Fire Chief Trey Cooper, a man was trying to heat the home on Upland Avenue with an oil-burning stove. The stove caught fire and spread to the home. Sadly, a woman inside died. The man's being treated for serious injuries. The South Carolina Highway Patrol says 2 other people were killed in traffic accidents on icy roads, and another died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Downed tree limbs on roadways were a big problem around the Grand Strand in PD today. Some roads were temporarily blocked by debris, while others had trees hanging over the roadway, like here on Antioch Road west of Conway. Road crews, firefighters, even an Horry County ambulance crew were pressed into action, clearing debris off the roads. County officials say it will take weeks to recycle all the debris, but their first concern is just to get it out of the way.
That's the main priority, is to get the access open for the roads, and we'll come back and pick up out of the public right away.
Borsier says Horry County cannot remove debris from private property. That's the property owner's concern. County fire officials ask you to use extra caution if you plan to burn the debris that's on your property. With the winter storm comes many broken tree limbs and branches, but before you hire a company to clear the debris, the Coastal Carolina Better Business Bureau urges you to do your homework. They say make sure you check to see the company has a business license and look to see that they have a South Carolina license plate. Try to avoid paying money up front. The BBB also warns if someone knocks on your door asking for work, that can be the first sign that something's not right. The Better Business Bureau has a website where you can check to see if a business is accredited. You can look for that link on your website, carolinalive.com. And keep it tuned to CW21 News at 10 and WPDE News Channel 15, and more importantly, your website, carolinalive.com, where you're streaming this newscast from. There you will find all the information on shelters and warming centers, plus up-to-the-minute road conditions. You can also find us on Facebook by searching News Channel 15, and we're on Twitter at Carolina Live. A suspicious package had traffic just west of Highway 31 at a standstill tonight. According to the Horry County Police Department Facebook page, the device was destroyed and one person's in custody. The road is now reopened. Well, this winter wallop of snow is in the forecast from western North Carolina up through New England tonight, with some areas inland facing more than 15 inches. Could be a costly winter with one storm after the next, and a significant snow fatigue is setting in. ABC News' Lana Zach is in New York.
11 governors from Georgia to Maine have declared a state of emergency. Across the country, snow totals on par with the 2010 storm that was dubbed Snowmageddon. With the nation's capital shut down, the Beltway was transformed into a virtual ski resort.
I thought I'd come and see America in wintertime, and you didn't disappoint.
In this weather, skis seem a better way to travel than road or rail. A cargo train derailed in Vandergrift, Pennsylvania, the black liquid spilling out in stunning contrast to the newly fallen snow. In Chester County, Pennsylvania, they say they're running out of space to put all the snow.
Right between the road and the sidewalk, keep the sidewalks open so the plows can keep shoveling the street.
Speaking of plows, at Dulles Airport, fighting snow may have been revolutionized forever. This is the first multifunction machine that plows, then sweeps, then blows the pavement dry. But as the snow gives way to ice, a new danger emerges. In Georgia, 400,000 are still without power after more than 9 inches fell, while normally temperate North Carolina got between 6 and 15 inches of snow. And in the Northeast now, the powder is changing to rain, which clings to sidewalks, branches, and power lines as a far more dangerous aspect of winter: ice. Here in New York Central Park, about 9.5 inches of snow fell earlier in the day today, followed by hours of rain. Now that, as you know, is a dangerous combination as the sun sets on a winter-weary East Coast. Lana Zach, ABC News, New York.
Flights up and down the East Coast are either delayed or canceled as a result of the storm. If you're flying out, be sure to check your flight before you head out to the airport. The jury is still out in the case of Michael Dunn, charged with first-degree murder and the shooting death of 17-year-old Jordan Davis in 2012. Jurors in the Michael Dunn murder trial spent the day deliberating behind closed doors. Today, a 12-person panel watched a surveillance video that captured the sound of the gunshots fired that night in November 2012. Dunn also testified that he feared for his life and told jurors his version of the night's events.
Here is my glove box. I'm looking out the window, and I said, "You're not going to kill me, you son of a," and I shot.
Defense attorney said today there's a lot at stake politically in this trial because of its similarities to the shooting death of Trayvon Martin and the acquittal of George Zimmerman. More men and women die of heart disease than anything else. We've all heard that we need to eat right, exercise, and stop smoking to lessen our risk factors. But there are other things you need to know that could save your life. For example, rather than a low-fat diet, why you should be on a Mediterranean diet, and why your doctor needs to talk to your partner about what happens when you sleep. Tonight at 11 on WPDE News Channel 15, Allison Floyd talks with 3 physicians to find out the 5 things cardiologists want women to know. That's tonight only on WPDE News Channel 15.
Well, thankfully, this epic winter storm, really an ice storm for most of us, is heading out to sea now. The last of the snow showers over southeastern Virginia and up here in the Delmarva, that heads out to sea while some snow continues over New England. In fact, it's quite heavy at times. For us, skies are clearing very nicely and will continue to do so as we head through the next couple of hours. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, sunshine, no freezing rain, no sleet, no snow, at least coming out of the sky. Obviously, there will still be some on the ground, especially the farther inland you go. All right, I want to show you what it looked like this morning in some locations as we had that last lobe of moisture rolling through. We did get some snow this morning, and some of you saw snow that looked like this, kind of unusual. It's a unique kind of snow, if you will, and we call it, I'm sorry, are you talking to me, Mike? That's okay. All right. We didn't know if we were going to another phase of our broadcast or not, but bottom line, this is Graupel, and of course we have snow that's falling out of the sky, and as it falls out of the sky, it actually collects a layer of very cold water on it that freezes to it, and it creates the shapes you see here. Kind of looks like small styrofoam balls, doesn't it? Thanks, Jeff Davis, for the fantastic photo. This out of West Florence this morning. All right, 30s everywhere right now. Of course, we're far above the freezing mark for now, but that will change as we head through the overnight hours. Under clearing skies, it'll be cold and a bit breezy. Lows will fall into the mid-20s inland. We'll be in the low 30s down by the beaches. Colder here simply because we have more snow and ice still on the ground. All right, Futurecast shows at 7 o'clock tonight we had some clouds over us. They are heading out to sea. Skies will be nice and clear later on tonight. Full sunshine in the morning. That will be the case through lunchtime. Then as we head into the afternoon, we'll likely see more clouds around. We'll call it partly to mostly sunny everywhere. Then another storm system will move very rapidly through the area, and as it does, it's going to lack moisture, so only a few showers around late Friday night and very early on Saturday morning. When I say early Saturday morning, somewhere between 3 a.m. and say 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, just a couple of showers, and that's going to quickly move on out to sea, and we'll see lots of sunshine as we head through the daytime on Saturday. And Sunday looks to be very nice as well, and it's finally going to warm up. Take a look at these numbers. Back into the mid-50s on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You believe that's still below normal for this time of the year, but when you've had 3 days in a row where you couldn't get out of the 30s, this will feel quite nice. And it gets even better into Monday at 60, 70 on Tuesday, and before you know it, we're back into the mid-70s for highs on Wednesday. There are signs that chillier air will return at the end of next week. We'll worry about that next week. We're going to enjoy this as we head through the weekend and early next week for now. All right, Saturday, of course, is the big Myrtle Beach Marathon, and overall not bad. Just before the race or right around the start of the race, there could be a couple of showers around with the temperatures near 40 and a northwesterly wind at 10 to 15. But as we head through the morning, rapidly clearing, so lots of sunshine for mid-morning right on through the early afternoon. Temperatures near perfect, mid-40s at 9:30 in the morning, and by 12:30 we'll be at around 52 degrees. So outside of that very early morning shower, things look fantastic for the Myrtle Beach Marathon. All right, your forecast on your Friday morning. Valentine's Day morning, plenty of sunshine and warming quickly from the upper 20s and mid-30s to afternoon highs that will warm nicely into the mid-50s on the Grand Strand. Skies will become partly sunny, but not a big deal at all. 56 in Surfside, 56 in Myrtle Beach, and 55 in Carolina Forest. Across the PD and on the border belt, becoming partly sunny here, warmer and breezy. Highs will be in the low to mid-50s across parts of the PD, but where we still have snow on the ground or sleet on the ground, we'll have temperatures reaching the upper 40s for afternoon highs. Here's the Grand Strand 7-day forecast. Small chance of a shower on Friday night, then lots of sunshine through the weekend with highs in the 50s and lows into 30s. Then a nice warm up through the early and middle part of next week. Mid-60s by Tuesday, upper 60s Wednesday. And there you have it, up to 70 by the time we get to Thursday. Even warmer inland as we'll see highs climb into the mid-50s by Sunday. Into Monday, we're at 60. Upper 60s Tuesday, and then look at those temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday. We will climb into the low 70s on Wednesday, and right now the mid-70s on Thursday. I thought this was one of the best pictures we got from Charles in McCall. How often do you enter the state of South Carolina with snow all around? Let me answer that for you. It is very, very rare, but what a great picture, Charles. Thank you so much for that. And thanks to everyone for all of your reports and all of your photos. We literally got hundreds upon hundreds of pictures, and they're all fantastic. They help us tell the story, and we're just grateful for all of our viewers for doing that.
And particularly these viewers who are watching us stream this newscast, because we've had power problems ourselves from our transmitter. Hopefully in the next several minutes we'll have that fixed, and we'll be back up and running on WPDE News Channel 15 and here on CW21 News. So thanks for clicking in and streaming with us tonight.
Yes, indeed. You know, there's still a lot of people that are without power, and the only way they can actually see any information is via the computer or their phone or their iPad, and so we're glad they're tuning in as well.
Yeah, good to be here for you. Anyhow, we're going to go on now with Mark Haggard and the Day in Sports.
Mark Haggard in for Rich tonight. The Coastal Carolina men's basketball team was in Lexington, Virginia last night for a Big South Conference matchup between division leaders. Getting to Virginia was no problem, but about a foot of snow fell as CCU played their game last night. Today, the CCU team bus was stranded on their way back to Conway. On Twitter, the team reported that the engine in the bus was running and everyone was in good spirits. They even built a snowman to pass the time. Our Rich Krampanis is also having trouble getting back after covering last night's game. Now to the highlights. Coastal had to rally from 18 points down in this one. Freshman guard Elijah Wilson came to the rescue. He scored a career-high 26 points, including this key three-pointer late in the contest. 83-78, Coastal Carolina beat VMI. The Chanticleers are now in first place in the South Division of the Big South Conference by 1/2 game over UNC Asheville. Rich talked with the coach about the home stretch, starting with the Chants' next game on Saturday.
We got to think of the 5 games that we got left. We're trying to win a championship. Gardner-Webb's next, 7 o'clock at home, and we need spirit, we need energy, we need a great crowd, and you know, even saying that, Gardner-Webb is undefeated on the road, so we've got a tough game. But this was a huge win. Extremely proud of our team. I thought their competitiveness was really strong, especially in the second half.
Out in California, it's round one of the Northern Trust Open on the PGA Tour. A former Chanticleer, Dustin Johnson, shot the best round of the day, 5 under par 66. DJ with a one-stroke lead. Play was suspended late in the round because of darkness. And college basketball in Columbia today. Sindarius Thornwell scored 19 points, and the South Carolina Gamecocks broke a 5-game losing streak, beating Vanderbilt 65-59. And that's a look at sports.
We received some great news during the sportscast. We are back on air over on WPDE News Channel 15. We will be broadcasting on WPDE at 11. So thank you for sticking in here with us tonight. Ed, any final thoughts on the weather? Things clearing up finally. We're going to get warmer.
Indeed we will. We're going to be back into the low to mid 50s as we head through tomorrow after 3 days in a row where we had snow, sleet, and freezing rain. I can't remember a time, nor have I seen in our history books here, that we've ever had 3 consecutive days in our viewing area. Some people suggest that back in Christmas of '89, but that was a 2-day event for our area. It was a 3-day event for the entire state. But glad to see it's going away. More sunshine tomorrow, low to mid 50s for highs. We'll stay in the 50s over the weekend. But boy, next week looks fantastic. 60 on Monday and 70s as we head through Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, well, we'll have a whole lot more for you over on WPDE News Channel 15 at 10 on TV. Thanks for clicking in and streaming with us tonight. Have a great night.